Chat. 25 years at KTAR for me this month. 25 years. And so the Suits said, we'd love to take you and your lovely wife out to dinner. And we kind of talked about this yesterday, and we were going to this great steakhouse, and we even took some phone calls on it. You suggested that I order the most expensive thing on the menu.
Wagyu beef.
Wagyu beef. Never had it in my life. Heard it's fantastic. It's delicious. It's truly something to taste. And we took some calls. The listeners said, Gaydos, you should get it. You should order the steak. So in a moment, I'm going to tell you what I ordered. But I was asked a really interesting question last night. So being at a station for 25 years, as you all know, you're in the radio business.
Yes.
It doesn't happen.
That doesn't happen anymore.
No. And our good friend Dave Burns and his wife were with us. He is also, 25 years at the radio station, but he's on the sports side. So an interesting question before we all started ordering. The Suits asked, what's the best thing you've done in 25 years at the radio station? And in your opinion. And no one's ever asked me that question.
It's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I always joke with you guys, and I always play it, and I'm not going to play it this time. Singing with Olivia Newton-John was unbelievable. Interviewing Donald Trump was unbelievable. But if I thought about it, in 25 years, what's number one? And so I answered the question last night. I didn't really know it was going to, I've never been asked that. I didn't know it was going through my head. So
and nice that they could have given you a little warning so you could have thought through it.
Yeah. I'll tell you the number one thing in 25 years. We started the Red for Ed movement on this show with my old partner, Mac.
That's right.
And not the political part of it, but getting teachers paid. Because it came out that Ducey was going to give a 2% raise over 5 years. And so I wanted to talk to him in studio about this because I'm married to a teacher. I know what teachers go through. I know how little they get paid. When I met her, single mom, 2 kids, barely getting by in a teacher salary. And so we got this, it's 2% over 5 years, and he's going crazy. This is the greatest thing in the world. And so we brought him on the show. And for about 10 minutes, this is the infamous Doug Ducey interview. For 10 minutes, he and I went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I said, tell me my math is wrong. I broke it down. This is exactly what you're going to pay every year for 5 years. And you think that's good? And we went back and forth. And at the end of the interview, as I've always said, and I wish Doug Ducey well. I think he was a good governor. Okay. I've had my problems with him. But he got in my face. He got right up in my face. He was ticked off at me. And I didn't care because I felt that I was at least partly going to be the voice of a lot of teachers out there. And so, we started getting all these emails in, thanking us for standing up to Ducey, thanking us for supporting teachers. And then this thing called Red for Ed started, where teachers got together. And I'm not talking about the political movement of it. I'm talking more and more about the teachers. And so every time we had Ducey on, there were protesters outside of our studio, hundreds of them, showing up with signs because they knew he was going to be here and they knew that we were going to hold him accountable. And so when I was asked this question at dinner, what's the number one thing? The number one thing is we kind of changed something here. And that doesn't happen all that much. We put pressure on Doug Ducey. And then all the teachers decided, hey, you know what? We're going to have a red tsunami at the state capitol. And I go down and I'm looking around and there are people that have signs with my name on it saying thank you. And I like to think I was just a small part of it. Maybe it was just the beginning. We kind of pushed it forward, which is great. But I think that's the big one. I think when you can move something in a positive way, and actually get teachers who, we were like 50th on in the amount of money that we were paying these educators. It's ridiculous. And so all that changed. And then I'd like to give Ducey credit because he came in again. He got the 20% by 2020. And I'll tell you exactly what I did to him. I got up and I shook his hand and I said, good job. Now, I know he got pushed out. He got pushed towards it, but he still got it done. And I just think it's not every day where you could be part of a movement, at least, maybe at the beginning or something, and you push the ball forward. And I think that's the best thing that we've done. I think we changed lives. And that's hard to do. And so I'm proud of that. And it led to pay tribute to a teacher, where now every month, your Valley Toyota dealers, now we're giving $2,500 to a teacher every single month. So that was kind of born out of that. So it was an interesting question last night. 25th anniversary for me, our big dinner. And they said, what's the number one thing that you think you've done? And I just think it's hands down that. And I'm certainly not taking credit for all of it, because I don't deserve credit for all of it. We started it. We started the ball rolling. There's just no doubt about it. All right. So now, the steak. Chad, you wanted to know Wagyu beef. So you said it's the most delicious thing you've ever tasted.
It's just amazing.
So we're at dinner. It's wonderful. You know, our wives are there. Burnsy's there. His wife is there. We've got, the two suits, I like to call them, the two bigwigs here, right? And so I had decided that I wasn't going to order it. Because, Becky, when you and I talked after the show,
yes.
And I go, there's no way I'm going to order a $200 steak.
I knew you would.
There's a 0% chance that, first of all, I don't deserve a $200 steak. No one should eat a $200 steak. And I'm like, we did some phone calls on it. It was very fun. The listeners thought I should get it. The suits actually heard that.
Of course they did.
Of course they did. So we're getting ready to order, and they confiscated my menu.
Oh.
They took it away. And I said, why are you taking my menu away? And they insisted, stood up right there at the table, told the waiter, whose name is Scott, big listener, by the way, he will have the Wagyu steak.
No.
And Scott, the waiter, goes, well, we've got three kinds. We've got this, and we've got this. And I'm sitting there, I'm laughing. I'm like, no, I don't need this. And whatever they got was the most expensive. Is there a bone-in?
Yeah.
Is there a bone-in? Because
bone
when you
out,
get...
Yep.
Okay, so when you get the Wagyu, it's not like a filet, because I've never had it. It's sliced. They slice it for you.
Yes,
so
I've seen it.
I don't
Never
know,
had it, but seen it.
I don't know what it... So the suits confiscated the menu, made me order it, insisted that I ordered it. And so they did. And I got to tell you.
How was it? Yeah.
That was freaking phenomenal.
Was it?
Yes. And let me tell you how good it was. It was so good, I wanted to throw it up and eat it again, Becky Lynn.
Gross.
That's how good it was.
That's nasty.
Oh, I wanted to eat it a second time, regurgitated. It was so good, I wanted to do it again. But it was, Chad, you were right. It was phenomenal. So I did get
the
it.
win.
I did get it. I did get the Wagyu. So that's.
And you didn't have to pay for it.
I didn't pay for a damn thing. It was very nice. It was very nice to be appreciated after 25 years, and with the dinner and all that kind of stuff. It was very, very nice. So we had a good time.
Burns got fish sticks.